I want to show everybody here what the HWA, the Hybrid Wrestling Alliance, is all about.
Hello HWA fans watching on YouTube and Facebook. Skeeter Moxley with you, your soon-to-be award-winning syndicated columnist. That's right, I switched side jobs. The collusionists in Wisconsin became just a little too much for me to handle. You want to talk about faggotry? These cheeseheads wrote the book on it when they were cutting their own cheese. When they didn't nominate me and give me any kind of publicized recognition for my one morning newscast on 89X 7 months ago. I made the story about the Decatur high school teacher that had sex 10 times with a student sound like World War III. Let me ask you something, Casey Caseman's corpse. Did a salesman ever accidentally call you and try to give away free copies of a major metropolitan newspaper? I don't think so, jackass! Is Don on the phone? Okay, well, then it's time you talk to him. Tell him to tell Carson Daly, Ryan Seacrest, Rick Dees, and anyone that uses the words DJ, Cool, Doggy, Home Slice, or Punk, Icy, Crack, Fly, Mama Boy, on their on-air personalities' names, to take their long-distance dedications, their request lines, their free ticket giveaways, their 8-track machines, and their up-tempo record segues into tracks about dead dogs, and make sure they shove them down their castrated, cremated cocks. Because now I'm in a business where, for good or for ill, I'm at least recognized instead of being prank called to cook mayonnaise tacos for stoners. And remind my girlfriend Paula Abdul is not alternative rock. Fucking idiots trying to take away my limelight. I got a big weekend ahead of me. My first column hits the Times on Friday. The paper, Facebook, or mywebtimes.com for the typed version. YouTube.com/Skeeter's page for the verbal reading. Watch it. Like it. Make me smile. I think I need a change of scenery. Score! This is your HWA Free-Per-View Report. Obviously, as you can see, we're on location for the first time this year. This is the City Park in the hometown of the headquarters of the Hybrid Wrestling Alliance, Streator, Illinois. What is the Free-Per-View Report? Well, for those of you new to HWA here on YouTube and Facebook, it's everything you need to know about the next big spectacular from the Hybrid Wrestling Alliance. As a matter of fact, this is the last Free-Per-View report of the 2011 season. Even though we have 2 free-per-views to go in the year, the final 2 shows of 2011 in back-to-back weekends, PD needs a break. The schedule for wrestling and writing columns has been packed over the last couple of months. It's time to chillax and enjoy the Thanksgiving turkey coming up 2 Thursdays from now. This Saturday, November the 12th, it is the biggest day of our lives. It's HWA's hallmark November tradition being born. It's the Super Bowl of the Hybrid Wrestling Alliance. We're calling it Backyard Domination. Every member of the HWA roster has had their focus set on Backyard Domination since the HWA kicked off operations on March 26th at Spring Breakout. And now 231 days after Mike Houston and Brian Phoenix first broke ground on the base with the first match at the then unnamed House of Hybrid, the clock is ticking towards Backyard Domination. Every match on the show is due to have an historical importance. Now, if you've ever viewed my YouTube series, The Moments That Define WrestleMania, you know I tried to narrow down the top 3 moments that sort of gave context and meaning to each WrestleMania over the past 25 years. And in a way, each match slated for this year's inaugural BYD has a similar thread to it. Any of the matches signed for Backyard Domination could present a moment that defines the HWA in 2011. And if you've been following us from the beginning, you know there have been a few matches and moments that have done just that. There are 8 matches signed and sealed for Backyard Domination. 3 championships are on the line. Every member of the active locker room has been booked. And for the first time in our free-per-view reports this year, we will announce the entire lineup right now. And we begin this rundown by talking about the HWA Hardcore Championship. Inevitable as it was, 3 weeks ago on Saturday Mayhem, Brian Phoenix stripped the Freak and SOS of their Hardcore title. We mentioned on the free-per-view report before Rapture about the injury the Freak suffered from the Lotus Salt over a month ago, bruising tendons in one of the Freak's knees. Brian Phoenix also cited that the 30-day period has passed where Freak went without defending the championship, thus constituting the action to strip the belt away, the Freak winning the title at Scars and Stripes on September the 17th and officially being stripped on the 22nd of October on Saturday Mayhem. If you also saw the Rapture report, you know that we also chronicled the long and winding road that has become both a staple and a plague to anyone who has held the Hardcore Championship belt. It has seen its fate change 15 times since May 21st, when the belt was introduced to the HWA, and 6 times since Golden Opportunity. Obama could have made better promises for change to a banker holding a brownie pan and a kendo stick for self-defense in his safety deposit box. After the title was declared vacant, Phoenix announced a blockbuster matchup for Backyard Domination. And we may just see a record broken as well, as anywhere from 8 to 12 participants will fight for the once again vacant HWA Hardcore Championship. This match has been given 3 special twists. Number 1, the 24/7 rule that was abandoned back in August has been reinstated specifically for this contest. 2, the 24/7 rule will come with a 15-minute time limit. The Hardcore Championship match will play out much like the Golden Gauntlet did back at Golden Opportunity. You score a pinfall or submission, you own possession of the Hardcore title. But there's a catch, and this one adds extra pressure to the individual who owns the Hardcore title. Only the current title holder must get pinned or submitted to lose the championship. That means if you own the belt, during the match, the bullseye is directly on your chest and you must get out of dodge. A pinfall or submission on you and you lose the belt. And by the end of 15 minutes, maybe everyone involved will have scored a victory at some point, but only one person will walk away from BYD with the Hardcore title. It's 15 minutes of pain, not unlike the expression 15 minutes of fame. It's only 1,000 times more destructive. It's also the most stacked match for any championship at Backyard Domination, and maybe in HWA history. Hardcore matches on free-per-view have been brutal, bloody, wild, and wacky. If someone doesn't provide me with a hazmat suit to avoid getting stabbed by shrapnel, I may not call this match. Uncle Cletus, I wish you the best of luck getting through this mess. Another championship on the line at Backyard Domination will be the Tag Team Championship as SOS faces the Juggalos again. Current Tag Team Champions Dimitri and Minion will face off with 2 men still young in their HWA careers, each looking for their first piece of HWA gold. Of course, I'm referring to Kid Kia and devastating Dane Dempsey. Kia and Triple D are both proteges of Lotus, the Silent Killer. They both debuted in HWA 3 months apart, but have joined forces recently to fight off the Syndicate of Salvation, SOS, or in Triple D's words, POS, pieces of shit. But right now in SOS, there is little to feel saved from when you consider the tension between Dimitri, Minion, and their leader, the HWA champion Madman WK. Madman and Dimitri were forced to wrestle each other this past weekend on Saturday Mayhem in a no disqualification match, amid Madman's recent tirades against his SOS counterparts for not assisting him when he was getting jumped by Lotus and company. And as for Minion, if you can't read body language, you have to wonder what runs through his twisted mind. Minion's been seen as the weakest link after losing consecutive matches to the Diz and Lotus on Saturday Mayhem, as well as the Rapture Rumble. Backyard Domination will once again set the stage for SOS to show their superiority. Can their issues be kept at bay, or will devastating Dane Dempsey and Kid Kia get the last laugh? Speaking of the Diz and Lotus, both men have been close allies since their Respect match last month. At Backyard Domination, they will square off again as 2 of 3 men involved in a triple threat contest to decide who will be #1 contender for the HWA Championship at the next Free-Per-View Total Eclipse, the season finale on November 19th. Brian Phoenix and Jimmy Jack Daniels have had some head bumps and headaches as co-founders and co-owners of the Hybrid Wrestling Alliance. Specifically after Rapture, when questions were floating around about who would be next in line following BYD for an HWA title shot. Phoenix stated simply, "If you want the shot, prove it." 3 men, each with solid gripes over wanting the shot, will each get a shot to take a shot at the HWA Championship. Lotus had several opportunities to defeat Madman WK last month at Rapture and claim the HWA title, but it took a straight shot to the ding-ding to dissolve those plans. The Diz has been to the top of the mountain in HWA before, holding the title for 63 days, and while he's upped his game in his music career, making music videos, the freestyle fighter from Chicago has upped his game inside the squared circle, with some impressive outings, including losses to both Madman WK and Lotus. Genocide almost found himself on the outside looking in, with a situation involving Sinister's unceremonious exodus from HWA. Genocide was expected to face Sinister in the second match in a best-of-3 series at BYD with the Internet title at stake. The Internet belt has been vacated for the rest of the season, but Genocide's chances at championship gold have not. Lotus, the Diz, and Genocide will meet with only one man to get the match they've all been hoping for, an HWA Championship match at Total Eclipse on November 19th. We'll give you more information on Total Eclipse later in this report. There have been bitter rivalries at the House of Hybrid throughout 2011. Even some international affairs spilled over to the Hybrid Wrestling Alliance. Everyone's expecting America to be the peacemakers in the middle. But man, are we angry and violent assholes ourselves. So I guess we're in the right country for conflict. Lately, a rivalry has evolved between Mexico and Japan. Mexico is well known for its lucha libre style of fast-paced, high-flying, tornado-style action, and where the mask is sacred and holds special significance. Japan's style of wrestling is called Puroresu and focuses more on match psychology with the usage of full-contact martial arts and strong-style combat. Those two styles have been brought together via HWA's building of the Tag Team division. From Japan arrived Double Dragon, Yin and Yang, and later on the Yellow Dragon, Loki, members of a family, or Kazoku, managed by the Pimpin' Ninja. From Mexico, you've got Pancho, accompanied by his familia, his cousin Pedro, who we haven't seen in a while, his other cousin Alberto Grande, and Alberto's foster brother Cerveza. Both sides have had a series of matches, and the score has been even up until now at 2 matches apiece, if you can believe that members of the Familia have managed to win 2 matches. But the real international incident will take place at BYD when the Pimpin' Ninja's Kazoku, Yin Yang and Low Ki, faces Pancho's Familia, Pancho, Alberto Grande, and Cerveza. Will the post-match celebration contain tacos and tequila, or egg rolls and plum wine? We'll have to wait and see. The former U.S. Army drill sergeant, Captain Jack Foster, comes out of the boot camp to issue an open challenge for anyone willing to work double duty at BYD. He's tried to get the HWA into shape, but since his debut, he has not recorded a victory. Will he change that? Also, believe us when we say this, but it is the match that must happen. Why must it happen? Well, when you see it, you will understand why. It's a match spanning different cultures, different generations, different walks of life. It will go down as one for the ages. It may just be the greatest match in the history of the HWA. Icky Thump versus The Man. We're talking about great matches and matches that must happen. In the history of wrestling, once in a while, bad blood can boil over not just between friends or between factions, but also between family. You look at the matches between Bret Hart and Owen Hart, Undertaker versus Kane, Matt Hardy versus Jeff Hardy. The brother versus brother feud in wrestling is always a personal affair. It also provides us with some compelling entertainment, like we saw with Voodoo versus Chaos on 3 occasions this past summer. The latest family feud to rear its ugly head has been between Mike Houston and his brother, who revealed himself to the HWA audience as Kyle Cash this past Saturday on Mayhem. Though it was 2 weeks ago on Saturday Mayhem when Kyle Cash made his most significant impact. After Mike Houston defeated Dimitri, we saw Kyle make his first appearance in the House of Hybrid. At the time we had no clue who he was, but there was no doubt noticing the resemblance this guy had with Mike Houston. Especially after you could faintly hear Houston ask, "What are you doing here?" After a post-match embrace between the two, Kyle Cash then ambushed Mike Houston. This past weekend, the brothers once again met face-to-face, this time both verbal and physical.
Now I'm going to admit, I kind of deserved it. I haven't been the greatest brother, that I will admit, but people change. I certainly have changed, and I think you and I should just forget about what happened last week. We can start over. We can go back to the way things used to be. So what do you say?
I've always hated you, Michael.
And this just doesn't go back to when we started wrestling together. This goes back to childhood. We came out of the womb together. And since day one, you've always thought you were better than me. You were Mom's favorite son. You got better clothes, better shoes, and she loved you a lot more than me. Don't say that. In school, you got better grades and you had more friends. Everyone likes Mike, right? And that's what makes us different, Michael. You care about what all these people think. The only person I care about is me. I don't care if all these people think you're better than me. I don't care if everyone in the locker room thinks you're better than me. Because I know I've always been better than you. Oh! Fight me! Come on, fight me.
Kick his ass, she deserves it.
Come on, Michael.
Mike not.
Fucking
Come on, Houston.
Mike's not fighting back.
Hit me!
What's it?
Show him who the bigger man is.
Come on.
Get out. Don't let him.
Oh wait!
Come on.
Whoop! Oh!
You've always been the hero, Michael. And that backyard domination, I'm going to do what I should have done from the beginning. End your career.
Oh!
All roads lead to the main event. It's the most anticipated HWA Championship match of the year, as current champion Madman WK defends the gold against HWA co-founder, co-owner, and the first man to hold the title, Brian Phoenix. When you look back to 1 year ago, Madman WK and Brian Phoenix had the first unofficial, official match in the history of the Hybrid Wrestling Alliance. It wasn't on the base. It was a Falls Count Anywhere street fight held in Depew, Illinois. Little did we know at that time that the two men who laid out the foundation for what this company was going to be in its first year would be the same two men who will fight for the biggest prize in our company at the biggest show in our company on the biggest day of HWA's existence. And it's been a tale of two different years for both Madman WK and Brian Phoenix. For Madman WK, the first half of 2011 showed him to be under the radar of HWA management. He only had one crack at the HWA Championship. That was the tournament at Spring Breakout. He intentionally got disqualified. Then on the afternoon of July 9, Madman WK made a proclamation to the HWA fans that he was going to be their savior, that he was a victim of backstage bullshit spearheaded by HWA co-owners Brian Phoenix and Jimmy Jack Daniels. On that day was born the Syndicate of Salvation. Madman and the Freak were the charter members. Madman defeats Jimmy Jack Daniels to win a shot to get a shot at the HWA title in the Golden Gauntlet. SOS heads to Golden Opportunity. They hospitalize Lotus. Then Madman wins the Golden Gauntlet. At Critical Condition, SOS doubles in size. Minion debuts, substituting for the Freak in a tag team match. And in the swerve of all swerves, Dimitri joins by ambushing and assisting in the concussion of his longtime friend, Brian Phoenix. And in subsequent time, Madman WK cashes in the Golden Opportunity briefcase to beat Phoenix in 3 minutes, 15 seconds to become HWA champion. And aside from 3 losses via disqualification, Madman WK has not been defeated once by pinfall or submission this year. As for Brian Phoenix, if there was ever a perfect metaphor to describe the mindset of a man pulling double duty as owner and wrestler, Brian Phoenix was given a brain damage kick at an event called Critical Condition. For the first half of 2011, Brian Phoenix carried the Hybrid Wrestling Alliance as their champion, winning the Spring Breakout Championship tournament over Vajesus on March 26th. He held the belt for almost 100 days, 91 to be exact, until his reign ended by the only other man to hold the HWA title this year, The Diz. Phoenix also lost his 50% control of HWA by virtue of losing the championship belt. Phoenix would get his retribution and his company back over Diz in Last Man Standing at Critical Condition on August 27th. Phoenix's second HWA title reign lasted all of 6 minutes and 10 seconds, when Madman took golden advantage of opportunity to cease the celebration, and with the help of Dimitri and Minion, not only took the HWA Championship, but took out the co-founder of the Hybrid Wrestling Alliance. Fast forward to last month at Rapture. In the Rapture Rumble, Dimitri gave Mike Houston his final death wish and was on his way to the main event of Backyard Domination to face his leader, Madman WK. However, Jimmy Jack Daniels stated because Punch Drunk Paulie never made it to the ring, only 9 men had officially entered the Rumble, leaving the door open for a 10th man to compete. And from the same back roads that SOS exited Critical Condition from, entered Brian Phoenix. He laid out Minion with a hammer, and then demonized Dimitri, and the dominance of SOS was silenced as Brian Phoenix tasted triumph, and come BYD, he may taste HWA gold for a 3rd time. The consequences, should Phoenix not defeat Madman, are dire. We take you back to Saturday Mayhem, where when Madman accepted the stipulation for hardcore rules, he also wanted Phoenix to put something else on the table.
Well, let's see what the fans think. Do you want to see Brian Phoenix versus Madman WK at BYD? Isn't that a shocker? Of course they want to see Brian Phoenix versus Madman. To be fair, I would like to see Brian Phoenix versus Madman too there, Brian.
Then accept the match.
I'll accept it on one stipulation, and I'll even give you your hardcore. If I win, I want you to retire.
Whoa.
I come in here every goddamn week and I listen to these stupid people cheer for their white knight, and I realize every time I look in your face that I could beat you, and every time that I have beaten you, there's only one problem. You keep coming back.
That's because he's better than you. Yes.
So at BYD, I'll make the final call. You want this so bad? You want your company to not see SOS? Well, put your money where your mouth is. Me and you, BYD, for your career. You see this, ladies and gentlemen? The White Knight of HWA Wrestling has nothing to say. That's new for you, isn't it, Phoenix? Maybe it's because Phoenix went, I accept.
What?
I beat you, I get my title back. You beat me, I will leave, and I will never, ever come back.
Yes!
He's accepted.
Yes!
Phoenix!
The last mayhem you will see!
But hear this. This is not going to be a normal title match for you. You're going to have to do everything in your power to keep me down, because rest assured, you knock me down, I can and I will get back up. And a backyard domination, whether you like it or whether you don't, I will be there, and I'm never leaving.
The future of the Hybrid Wrestling Alliance has never been more at stake than it is this Saturday, when the King Midas of HWA meets the most determined and most spirited individual in HWA, with all the power and prestige encompassed within the HWA title. It is going to be a can't-miss, must-see confrontation 1 year in the making. What an awesome show we have in store for you at Backyard Domination. You've heard the rundown, and now it's time for the HWA stars to throw down. Mark your calendars, everybody. Tell your friends about BYD this Saturday, November 12th at the House of Hybrid, the HWA's home. It's the biggest day of our lives, and we hope to share each and every second with you. Also, do not forget about the final show of the year at the House of Hybrid. Total Eclipse is our season finale, which will take place the week after Backyard Domination, Saturday, November 19th at 2 o'clock. The build for Total Eclipse should start during Backyard Domination. These next 2 weekends are your last 2 chances to see your favorite HWA wrestlers battle it out on the base. We're hoping for stellar crowds. We're hoping the weather will also be stellar. It will get cold, but we're hoping for some sunny skies. The last 4 free-per-views dating back to Golden Opportunity have given us some sun. Let's hope the trend continues. However, if you cannot make it to either Backyard Domination or Total Eclipse, tough shame. But both shows will be available on YouTube and Facebook just in time for Thanksgiving. For more information on the Hybrid Wrestling Alliance, go to youtube.com/HWA Wrestling Online. Every HWA show is available in playlist form for your convenience, so if you don't want to keep clicking from video to video, just let the playlist do all the work. We're also going to try and keep the site busy during the off-season, so there's a lot more original content for when we're not in the ring. I've heard stuff about award shows, music videos, just a lot of fun ideas. Hopefully we can pump a lot of that stuff out to you, the home viewer. So please do subscribe to us if you have your own YouTube account. Also look for us on Facebook. Our keywords on Facebook are HWA Hybrid Wrestling Alliance. Get more updates from HWA on Facebook this winter. From the City Park in Streator, this is Skeeter Moxley for your Backyard Domination Report. We will see you Saturday from a cold but electric House of Hybrid for Backyard Domination. So long.
7, 8,
Referee!
9,
And 9!
10.
Brian Phoenix is champion!
Ring the bell.
As the referee finally raises the hand of the new champion,
What is this?
Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Dimitri! Death Wish to Phoenix! This can't be! It's over! Not this kick! Oh!
Pack that up, we gotta get him the fuck out of here. We gotta get him to the hospital.
Wait a minute! Madman's in shock! We're all in shock! Brian Phoenix is going to backyard domination!
I am your savior. SOS TV AD.
Ever hear the expression bumpin' uglies? Life's ugly. Bump everything.
A little bit more line!
Why not? Oh, he was being grabbed by Schizo. Oh no.
The HWA. Bump everything.